Yo, we are live. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Living with Annietude, live on LinkedIn and streaming to YouTube. So, we have a pop up live show surprise today. I have two amazing dudes here with me, and this is my big intro. So, here we go. I'm bringing in my boys, Travis and Luke. Who are just starting the live process of getting into this LinkedIn live stuff. So, you got a veteran here. So here we go. Let's bring you in. We have Luke. Hi, how are you, my dear?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I am fabulous, never better. Travis, welcome.
Hey,
There he
what's up,
is.
LinkedIn?
I'm super excited about this, and I'll tell you why. One of the reasons is because I'm pretty sure that my son, who's 11, just put my 8-year-old daughter in a sleeping bag and is actually bowling with her against the wall. Because
Wow.
so if you hear the banging coming from this wall over here in front of it, because this is my studio, haha, JK, just my office, at home where my kids are being homeschooled. So I'm pretty sure they're bowling with each other right now, just in case you hear anything.
I mean, you should go take the live stream over there, Annie. That sounds more entertaining to me.
More excited than bringing Luke on here. Damn.
Yeah, no kidding.
Listen, Luke has done so many live streams. This is old hat for him. I mean, he's all about the lives,
I'm a veteran in my mind already, so
you are. That's what makes me so cool. You and your controversial posts that you put out there. My favorite controversial posts. I'm like, I love this kid. He says some great shit. I love it.
I'm not that controversial.
I gotta be careful. Sorry if any kids are watching. So guys, here's the best part about my show. It is Living with Annietude is all about authenticity and being your truest, most authentic selves. I would love for you to both introduce yourselves and just tell me a little bit about, your background. And then we're just going to have a conversation. That's the best part about this show. There's no script. As you can probably hear, there's no script. So we're just going to roll with it. So Luke, if you wouldn't mind starting, just introduce yourself, tell the audience a little bit about who you are and what you're up to.
Sure. So my name's Luke, obviously. I've been going hard on LinkedIn since February. So going hard means one post a day, sometimes two. And I started off at 15 minutes a day. And if you've read my post, I'm up to, I don't know if I should say it here, 15 hours a day sometimes. I'm going hard right now. So my background is, before I jumped into social media marketing, I was a construction guy. So I swung a hammer, I threw up drywall, I painted, I did landscaping. I did real work, as I like to say, and now I get to sit on the computer and, make fun of people all day. And, of course, I schedule posts and edit photos and do all the social media marketer stuff too. But, that's no fun, right? I don't want to talk about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, my background is construction, and I'm loving life now. I've been doing social media for about 4 years now.
So do you have hands that feel like they're in control? Do you guys know the movie Goodfellas well enough to quote it?
I don't. I'm terrible at quoting movies.
All right, then I don't know if our audience is going to know. But when she feels Ray Liotta's hands, she says, "Your hands don't feel like you're in construction," and he says, "I'm a union delegate," because obviously he's not in construction; he's in the mob. So, but anyway, those are for the older folks that know the movie really well. But
I've seen the movie. I just can't quote it.
Well, we got to work on that, dude. We got to work on that. All right, so nice. So you're here and you're pumping iron on LinkedIn 15 hours a day, and we'll see what that gets you. You got my attention for sure. I brought you on the pop-up.
Well, that's something.
Things are good,
Right.
Travis, talk to me.
Oh man, yeah, I'm still figuring out this the full 360 of this whole story and pitch. It's been an adventure, but the primary points to really capture. Growing up, I spent most of my life playing hockey. So from age 4 to 24, pretty simple. That was my life every day during the week, games on the weekend. And around college was sort of the end of the line there. I made it to college hockey and realized, all right, that's not happening as far as pursuing it as a real career, real dreams or anything. So
Can I interrupt you for 1 second, Travis?
Yeah,
is that a gaming chair?
It is.
Okay.
I mean, it's a little bit of everything, but it's technically a gaming chair. Yeah.
Okay. The reason I asked is
ergonomical.
exactly. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but this just stuck out to me because that was my son's birthday present. He just turned 11.
Nice.
He's the one bowling in the other room. And so he got a gaming chair and I put it together, and you don't understand that these hands do not put things together. My brain doesn't work that way. So it took quite a long time, but I put it together piece by piece and he loved it. So anyway, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but cool gaming chair. They're very comfortable.
No worries. Yeah, it's been part of the adventure. I mean, and kind of leads into all the stuff here that you see anyways. So my backup career, my backup passion throughout this was wanting to be a music producer. So really shooting for the stars here in life. But also in recent years realized how financially unfeasible that is. It really is just an industry in an area of the world that even working 15 hours a day won't move the needle much unless you really have a lot of things going for you. So I was very grateful to discover branding and entrepreneurship. That was the primary pivot point that sent me on the path I'm on right now. And that was discovering, community, building a brand, a business for other individuals, which led to agency work, which has led me to kind of where I'm at now. I've kind of stayed busy in the agency side for a while and discovered the power of content marketing, media, owned media assets, all the things in that world. And that's really what I've been cracking open this year, is just testing the waters in anything and everything, custom media, live streams, multimedia formats, anything I can get my hands on. I've been experimenting with. And that's
live streams about nothing. Live streams about nothing.
Yeah, it's inspired by the one and only Luke Matthews.
I mean, I love it. I went on. I told you were badass, and you were like, "Haha, Annie, yeah, okay, I'm badass. I'm talking about nothing." But it was cool. People were into it. They jumped on. They were talking. What the hell else are we doing? We're on live with you, saying what's up, and you were doing all these cool sound things, and I don't have any of that.
No, we're figuring it out. I mean, and this is, I think, just one of the biggest pieces that leads back into that authenticity is prior to this year. I'm in the same boat as Luke, as I didn't take LinkedIn seriously until Gary Vee was yelling at me all of 2019. And I was like, okay, I guess I'll finally chill, hop in. And it worked out. It's been great, but it's been 100% experimental as well. I'd like to say,
totally.
There's this, we had this perfect strategy and launch and this and that, but it was just testing all through January, February, was just ear to the ground, engaging, seeing what works for other people. And then now, since we got LinkedIn Live, we've continued that testing. And we've done, fancy formal shows. We've done unscripted ones. We've done stuff in between. Now what I'm really zeroing in on, thanks to Luke, is this kind of Twitch style streaming where you're just hanging out in the room with them. So just trying to get that set up to have a working mode, a chilling mode, and then a gaming mode to have people hop in and out.
I love it.
So if you're interested, if anybody's interested, yourself included, Annie, we're in the early stages of getting that going. And we'd love to have as many people in the loop there for more casual stuff or for more formal, fancy, official stuff as well. But
so what I find to be, when you guys and your people have been posting and commenting, a lot of people have jumped in and said, and Luke especially, because you said, I've never really done a live, that's not really my thing. So and honestly, I don't know any other way. I was sprung into this by Gabriel Leal and Michael Paterano, and they were like, Annie, we're going live in 5 minutes. And that's how this started. They threw me to the wolves, and I was just like, what's up? Here I am. So I don't know any other way. So when it is a buttoned up and formal sort of interview, I'm like, I'm not sure what to do. It feels weird to me. But I wanted to ask you guys sort of, how does it feel? Is it different than doing, what's the difference to you two? And the reason I bring that up is because I feel and there's nothing against people that do, more scripted. That's fine. It's just, to me, there's a certain authenticity that I feel when you're just flying by the seat of your pants and doing your thing. I wanted to see sort of if you guys could touch on that.
Well, I'll go first. I think you have to know what you're good at. And for me, I'm not talented enough to be scripted. So you got to know where your skill sets lie. I don't have the talent to put together a video like Jonathan Palmer or Shay or all those people. And even writing text like the ones that do a really good
by the way,
job.
Luke, I have to interrupt you 1 second. That's my 11-year-old who's supposed to be in school right now. I told you. Sammy,
class.
I love it.
Go on. I didn't mean to interrupt, but I had to. That was my kid.
No, it's okay.
Good. I'm so proud. I'm so proud. She should be in school. Perfect.
It's on a good path. I forgot what I was saying.
Oh my God.
You have no skills.
Yes. So for me, I joined LinkedIn and I thought, well, I better talk about social media because that gets me work. And so I started off doing that because I do know a fair bit of crap. Started talking about Instagram especially because that's kind of my background that I focused on for social media. So I started doing that, but I realized like I'm doing that all day, right? So I'm constantly on Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, and I'm doing all the boring stuff. And I realized after a while, like people were more interested in shooting the breeze. You know, when I talk about bacon or turtles or whiskey or stuff that is irrelevant and doesn't matter, I found that I got better conversations, and then people jumped in the DMs and I started talking business. And I actually got leads from a post about bacon and a post about turtles. And I didn't get leads from posts about social media. So I thought even, business wise, I'm getting results just talking about nothing. And it's more like who I am anyway. Like,
yeah,
I much more enjoy just throwing whatever up and seeing who will jump in and start a conversation. And I realized like that was the goal for me. I just wanted to start conversation.
Yeah.
And I realized on LinkedIn, especially compared to other social media platforms, people will actually engage with you. They'll actually give you their opinion. You can have a nice conversation. And it doesn't need to always be about business. And so that's kind of my mission is, let's just break the walls down and do whatever. And I remember when I first joined, that was kind of a contention point. All the old folks, like, oh, this isn't Facebook. And I remember back then saying, this is Facebook 2.0, get used to it. And now, especially with stories, it's like, well, all those people lost and they've probably left the platform. I don't know where they are, but they lost. And this is Facebook, this is Instagram. It's just for a different audience. So
it is. And, I have to tell you that I agree to a certain extent. I love the authenticity piece. I love that you just are real. That's why one of the reasons I wanted to have you on. And Travis, I'm going to give you a chance to answer too. But I just wanted to say that, there is an element of LinkedIn that is a little bit different, I think, than Facebook. I mean, I see what you're saying. But there's a professional element that's mixed in with this personal, authentic space that I'm seeing now since COVID that I didn't always see before. And it was a lot more buttoned up before. And now I love that people, at least our communities, are showing up as their true selves and like saying, this is me, this is who I am. I love that. There's nothing I like more. So, whereas I do call Facebook Fakebook, because I think that there's, no offense to the Fakebook lovers, but it just doesn't do it for me. It's just not the same content, it's not the same stuff for me. But hey, to each his own. Travis.
Yeah, I think, my perspective is in a very similar vein of where Luke was coming from. Throughout this year, I was, testing all of the media formats. Of video was obviously the most powerful to get that FaceTime. Obviously, the Shays and the Johns of the world just taking over. It's solely because of that video. So I saw the common thread there. And I've tried to get video projects going multiple times. I've done it in like blockchain and cryptocurrency space. I've done like educational forms of it. But all of it was the written, produced, scripted. Right. And what I discovered is that, again, similar to Luke, that is just not my skill set. The moment you turn on the lights in the corner, put the camera in the empty room, and like you're staring at some lens and nobody else is in the room. The dogs are at my feet, like looking up at me, like, what the hell is this guy doing? And I just sound like a robot. And I'm like, here are the first 3 steps that you need to sign up for a cryptocurrency account. And I add like these tone things, but it's intentional and formula. So it just is so not my thing. So the moment we discovered these kind of improvised moments, it was so much better for me to have an interview, a human at least on the other side. Sure, we're not like in the same room, but at least I can say something and there's engagement or feedback or something happening. So that's what really started pulling me towards the more authentic stuff, just in general, personally. And then as far as results and audience engagement, etc., at the end of the day, all of us are simply trying to build relationships. That's truly the only thing we're trying to go offline with this, at least for me personally. And that is just so much easier to do when you're in that authentic mode rather than like kind of the webinar pitch presentation or your scripted interview type of thing. And there's context for that, like, and where to do that. When you go have your 60 minutes interview and you make it, like, go have a scripted interview, like that makes sense. But for where we're all at, this environment, like, people are just desperate for human connection.
Meaningful
and
connection.
Any way we can do that, I'm down to try. So this live streaming and all kinds of different formats is exactly what I'm doing. And yeah, similar to the Facebook vein or comparison, all I'm really doing is just copying what Twitch streamers are doing and other live streamers have been doing on YouTube and stuff and bringing it to LinkedIn. And it feels just, way more organic or authentic than.
We have a question for Luke. How did you get so lucky, Luke? I love that answer, Travis. That was awesome. Ryan Christopher would like to know how you got so lucky, Luke. So if you'd like to answer.
Well, I know Ryan. We've hopped on a couple calls, and he likes to troll me. He's not very good at it, but Ryan, I'm gonna need more than that. What do you mean?
Yeah, I mean, what you got? What you got for us? We're live. We got a LinkedIn pop-up.
You gotta give me more than that.
Yeah, that was weak. I'm just kidding, Ryan. I appreciate you coming on. I saw him comment that he would be on, so at least he shows up. You know what I mean?
Technically,
seriously though, Ryan, like dive into it. I'll answer it, but I need just a little bit more.
Luke is such a ball breaker, man. He's like, listen, if you're gonna show up and ask me a question, bring it. Like, just bring it. I have a question though. I'm raising my hand on my own podcast. I'm raising my hand. I want you to Travis, how much energy goes into the mustache?
Ooh.
Not much.
I mean, like what kind of thought, what kind of energy is there? Product? Is there product? Like, what goes on? Explain.
The origin of this is all stems from balding in your 20s. So if you're balding in your 20s with a full, complete shave, clean shave, I discovered people either think you're on the way to chemo or a Klan meeting. And half the time they're serious. So I was like, whoa. So I noticed if I had some facial hair or like some other thing, people were worried, a lot less worried.
Really?
So again, always experimenting. And this was
signature
a nice
you. It's so
spot.
Signature you.
People are a lot less concerned about my health when I have a fully extended facial hair, healthily growing. But
that's
it's really was just time and persistence, like most things, consistency.
I mean, is there product? Like, is there a specific, like, do you put product in? Like, obviously I don't know how mustaches or beards work.
I'm early in the world. There's a few other homies on LinkedIn that are ahead on the mustache game, but there's product.
Seriously?
You can play the curl games. There's people that have the complete curls.
I don't know how I feel about this.
Luke is like, why did I go live? This is crazy. I didn't know. Luke, are you talk to me about your beard game? I mean, is that something that comes along and sort of does it take a long time to get that sort of full beard, or?
It doesn't. I'm too lazy to shave right now. That's why this is where it is. Usually I like to keep it a little shorter. And my wife doesn't like it this long, so I'm annoying her right now.
No reason to have it like that.
There's absolutely no reason, but just haven't shaved. What can I tell you?
So let me ask you guys a question. What are your thoughts on like engagement and like, do you guys get, I've had a couple of talks recently with people about like, I just really don't get attached to my followers, like likes. And, you know, like I like to see it if something's engaging people, if it's resonating, but it doesn't like make me crazy if it's like 6 people that liked it and like one person, like it just, maybe it was at a bad time or maybe it stunk. I don't know, but it doesn't make me, but there's a lot of people that have sort of a controversial feeling about this. I wanted to get your guys' thoughts on this, being social media gurus.
I'll let Travis go first on this one.
Yeah, I mean, I'll really just echo my prior answer. To me, again, it's all about relationships. So to me, the best metric to really follow that is quality of comments. That's typically what I'm striving for when I'm jumping into a post. Is I would much rather have 10 well thought out, insightful, like I'm joining the conversation, here's why, X, Y, Z, thanks, whatever, than 100 comments of like, nice, like, or whatever.
Right, or good one.
So for me, that's the positive signal to me. When I go into the comments and I'm seeing 4, 5, 6 responses in like the same thread, people are throwing down paragraphs, people are responding to one another, tagging
I
each
love
other
that
in the conversation.
Yeah.
That's a good post.
I agree.
If I see someone with 800 likes, and just 1-word comments, it's like the reach I know is probably very impressive. Like, sure, your awareness and your name is popping up in front of a billion people or whatever. But for what ultimately translates into value, it's the comments, because those are the people I resonate with. I've had just so many deep stories and just learned so much from people dropping a comment one at a time, and it ends up being thousands.
I love that.
Thousands of little micro interactions. So that's a signal for me.
Luke, before you go, hold on one second. This is my daughter. Guys, seriously, it's not set up. I couldn't set this up if I tried. That's my daughter. Like, hello, I'm working. This is business. I mean, it's fun, believe me, but it's also work. Like, they have this whole homeschool thing has blown my mind. They have no regard. They think I play all day long. They really do.
That's because you have too much fun, Annie. You have too much fun.
Listen, I'm living with Annietude. They know that.
Be a little more miserable. Be a little more miserable, and they might go to school. All right.
I don't know. It's true. It's true. They want to stay home with me. Finding your tribe on here has been about the comment game 100%. I love Jeff Bauer.
Yeah. Jeff's awesome.
He's got knowledge that he's dropping left and right. So I want Luke to be able to go and answer that question, because I'm very interested in what you have to say about that.
Sure. So for me, I don't care at all. And I know everyone says that, but I actually don't. And the reason is because I spent 3 years on Instagram caring. And for me, I actually ended up getting a lot of influencer work, believe it or not, on Instagram. My wife takes really good photos, and we kind of carved out a niche on Instagram. And so we had brands sending us clothes and shoes and, different products, and we'd shoot them and do influencer work. And so when you're doing influencer work, you do have to care about the metrics. And so for me, it was really hard because I like to be authentic, but I had to walk the line of, I'm kind of doing a service, right? It's influencer work is a service, like it should be. So you should do the best job that you can. You should be running ads in your posts. So I had to care about likes. I had to, submit my copies to them, and they had to approve it. And so for me, in my Instagram experience, I didn't really share a lot of my personality. It was just, here's this product, I took a nice picture, I wrote decent copy, I shot some nice video, here it is. And then when I joined LinkedIn, I thought, well, I'm obviously not going to do influencer work on LinkedIn, thankfully. And I just want to say whatever I want and just see what happens. And so for me, I just started doing that. And I spend like 99% of my time in the comments, because for me, it takes like 5 minutes or less to write a post, because I don't make great videos. I don't make these sliders like Travis that are really good. For me, I just, I have a thought. Okay, boom, I'll type it out, hit send, and then I just wait for someone to jump in and I start talking. And that's what I've been doing since February. I just put all my time into the comments, finding people that I like and just commenting on their posts. And for me, that's kind of how I built a community, was just through the comments. And because of that, I can just throw up whatever I want. And sometimes it does really well, and sometimes, it doesn't do as well. And I think for me, it's just because of the volume of time that I spend on LinkedIn. Like, I'm a social media guy, so I've got 3 monitors set up. I'm always doing content. I'm always working and scheduling. And then on one monitor, I've got LinkedIn. So I'm just chatting with people kind of all day. I'm commenting all day. And honestly, that's why I get engagement. I don't really think it's because my content's that great or I'm that special. It's just because I'm here and I'm talking to people all day. And
You're engaging,
yeah, I'm engaging, So that's my answer. Just 99% of the time I worry about just talking to people, and then, the numbers sort themselves out, and they don't really matter anyway, because no one's paying me for it. No one's paying me to have lots of likes or comments, and anybody that would, to me, isn't that smart, because it's really easy to cheat for likes, comments, reach on all platforms, and eventually that'll catch up to people, because I know people on LinkedIn are doing that too, right? So that's a whole other conversation, but
I mean, you guys happen to be 2 people that are very I would say, in my opinion, and obviously we know how much my opinion matters, you're very secure in yourselves, and you show up as yourselves, and you think it's really important and to be sort of fearless on here. At least that's the way it presents. So I just want to I wanted to kind of, if you could note, what it took to get there, or if you're not there, are you working on getting there? And the reason I ask that is because a lot of comments and a lot of people to the live stuff we were talking about, Luke, on when I was commenting, were like, oh, I could never do live. I'm no good. I would mess that up, And so I'm just sort of, I'm huge on like, I'm going to babble and yell at my kid, and like, I'm going to do, and that's the way it is. And that's who I am. It's not going to be perfect. So if people are looking for perfection, they can tune out. It's just not going to happen. So I just sort of wanted to see where you guys stood with that.
Yeah. I'm glad it looks like that on the outside, because that is certainly not the case under the hood.
I love your vulnerability.
Definitely wrecking ball of insecurities over here. But it's been this year that I've really just found a new rhythm and kind of leaning into it. Very similar to what we've been echoing throughout this year, kind of the theme of this year. I had always put up my picture perfect resume. I removed stuff I didn't want people to see, thinking like, oh God, they're gonna think this or that. Always had my picture in the fancy suit and blazer, and it wasn't until this year I went and like posted in a t-shirt, started just posting the like straight from the heart type of stuff, started posting about World of Warcraft and like hockey and like stuff that I'm wondering, like, is anybody even gonna like know what I'm talking about? And it ends up being one of my best posts. And so, like, all these people come out of the woodworks like, oh, Alliance or Horde, and then I'm like, whoa, all these gamers coming out of the house on LinkedIn. And just
you're being real, man. You're being real.
The more moments I keep having throughout this year, the more that I guess confidence is building. I'm like, well, I guess people really don't give a shit. If I'm being honest, it's always way worse than your head.
They want you to show up like that. Luke, what do you think?
Okay, this is going to sound arrogant, but I don't struggle with it. And there's lots of things that I struggle with. But for me, it's just thinking less. Like, I posted about it yesterday. On Saturday, I'm going to do 24 hours in a row on LinkedIn Live with Jonathan Palmer. And this is my first, 20 minutes on live. And that's just kind of how I approach things. You just get in there, figure it out. And, if I suck, I'm really going to know Sunday morning. Like, you're no good at live, man. You should never do this again. Or it's like, wow, I love this, and let's do more of it. And I think that the reason I was able to get there is just a life full of rejection and hard times. I think everyone goes through stuff, but for me, there's just been a lot of rejection, a lot of having to face things that people close to me, that have challenged me and questioned me. And I think those hard times, when you have to look inside of yourself and figure out who you are, when you've done that and you've kind of had to stand up for yourself enough times, that, well, this is who I am. And, people can either take it or leave it, but like, I've got one life to live, and I just want to live it. And I don't really have the patience to put up a manufactured image, or I don't even care about that, honestly. Like, it's just, let's connect with people. This is who I am.
You got some thicker skin and, you know, kind of go through life experience. And that's what happens. You experience life, you get a little bit harder, but also at the same time, you can be a little more vulnerable and be a little more true to yourself, you know?
Yeah, I think it's good and bad, right? I think sometimes it's bad. Like I can get a little bit too sarcastic and a little bit harsh, and I have to watch myself. Even in the comments, or I like to troll people. I always say like I'm 17% troll, and it comes out sometimes. I like to tease. I'm sarcastic, and I like to poke people. But sometimes I have to watch that, you know, because sometimes that crosses over, and I go, oh man, like I'm being a bit harsh here, and I think it helps in some areas like this where I don't really have a second thought to throw up a post or share something vulnerable, or I just want to do it. But on the other hand, yeah, sometimes it's not so helpful, you know?
Yeah, no, I mean, I can appreciate that from both of you guys. I really love believe it or not, we're like at the end of the show. It's like I'm like super bummed. We talked for 30 minutes. Yeah. So, I mean, I think we should totally plan to do this again because there's a lot of interaction. By the way, your girl, Kelsey, Lips, which by the way, I'm so jealous of that last name. Like, let's just talk about like the obvious and the elephant in the room. Like that is such a cool, and she's beautiful. That's such a cool last name. But there's a lot that show up on my side as like LinkedIn users that I'm, you know, like there's a lot of people.
I don't get why that I'm one of them, and I don't know why. I've been trying to diagnose it.
I don't either. And it always happens. It's not just you. It always happens where there's just LinkedIn users. It's so strange. But we got Kelsey loves seeing you live, Luke. And there's a lot of people. Wait, Ryan said something meaningful. Let's make sure to read that. That's what is best about all three of you. You speak from your heart and your posts and comments reflect that. You don't let others influence your words, actions, behaviors, and that's why it's so attractive to so many people. See, he complimented them. Which is smart. That's Ryan. Right there.
Ryan's a good guy. Ryan's a good guy.
Ryan is just the best. He is the best. No, I appreciate the comment and popping on. And I mean, there's tons of people. I don't bring them all in because it just ends up like interrupting the conversation. But I love it. I love the engagement. I love people on. But like we're like over the time. I think we're gonna have to do like a part 2 pop-up or something. Luke, how did your first live go?
I feel like I could go for 24 hours, honestly.
I think you could too. You have some serious endurance. Travis, you're a natural.
He's gonna Luke. Oh man, I'm just so excited. I'm gonna be following this whole journey he has. 2 hours in, he's gonna be crying.
Like he's
crying.
Travis is hopefully gonna kick us off. So
we for this thing that he is mentioning, anybody that is watching, we'll be hosting sort of a rotating rooms. The max limit is only 4 hours. So I believe they're going to be room hopping. And yeah, definitely down to host you guys for sure off the launch. And if you need more home base streams, I'll hook you up.
Thanks,
I love that. I love this. This is awesome. Guys, it was so nice to have you. I appreciate you so much for being here. Your smiling faces are wonderful. Living with Annietude. Don't forget to like and subscribe. That's my plug. Isn't that good? I just say that and then I'm like, I didn't used to say that. So, and listen, everybody today, you need to have some emotional optimism. This is big. This is the Claude Silver shirt. And it was great. Love you guys. So grateful. And this is my big outro. You ready? It goes like this. Stay where you are. Guys, peace. It's been